need am I for anything? I loose the world from all it seems. With you now found inside of me, here ends my fruitless wanderings. Illusions all I now release. I lay them gently at your feet. As winter she turns into spring, and branches bare are blossoming. What need am I for anything? I loose the world from all it seems. What need am I for anything? I loose the world from all it seems. Dear Divine Ones, welcome back to Miracle Mantras. I'm Kiran Jot. I'll be reading today's lesson for you, singing this mantra with you again so that you can sing it and carry it with you throughout your day. And I'll be adding a commentary at the end. This is lesson 132. I loose the world from all I thought it was. What keeps the world in chains but your beliefs? And what can save the world except yourself? Belief is powerful indeed. The thoughts you hold are mighty, and illusions are as strong in their effects as is the truth. A madman thinks the world he sees is real and does not doubt it, nor can he be swayed by questioning his thoughts' effects. It is but when their source is raised to question that the hope of freedom comes to him at last. Yet is salvation easily achieved, for anyone is free to change their mind, and all their thoughts change with it. Now the source of thought has shifted, for to change your mind means you have changed the source of all ideas you think or ever thought or yet will think. You free the past from what you thought before. You free the future from all ancient thoughts of seeking what you do not want to find. The present now remains the only time. Here in the present is the world set free. For as you let the past be lifted and release the future from your ancient fears, you find escape and give it to the world. You have enslaved the world with all your fears, your doubts and miseries, your pain and tears, and all your sorrows press on it, and keep the world a prisoner to your beliefs. Death strikes it everywhere because you hold the bitter thought of death within your mind. The world is nothing in itself. Your mind must give it meaning, and what you behold upon it are your wishes acted out so you can look on them and think them real. Perhaps you think you did not make the world, but came unwillingly to what was made already, hardly waiting for your thoughts to give it meaning. Yet in truth you found exactly what you looked for when you came. There is no world apart from what you wish, and herein lies your ultimate release. Change but your mind on what you want to see, and all the world must change accordingly. Ideas leave not their source. This central theme is often stated in the text and must be borne in mind if you would understand the lesson for today. It is not pride which tells you that you made the world you see and that it changes as you change your mind. But it is pride that argues you have come into a world quite separate from yourself. impervious to what you think and quite apart from what you chance to think it is. There is no world. This is the central thought the Course attempts to teach. Not everyone is ready to accept it, and each one must go as far as they can, let themselves be led along the road to truth. They will not return and go still farther, or perhaps step back a while and then return again. They will return and go still farther, or perhaps step back a while and then return again. But healing is the gift of those who are prepared to learn there is no world and can accept the lesson now. Their readiness will bring the lesson to them in some form which they can understand and recognize. Some see it suddenly on point of death and rise to teach it. Others find it an experience that is not of this world, which shows them that the world does not exist because what they behold must be the truth, yet it clearly contradicts the world. And some will find it in this course and in the exercises that we do today. Today's idea is true because the world does not exist. And if it is indeed your own imagining, then you can loose it from all things you ever thought it was by merely changing all the thoughts that gave it these appearances. The sick are healed as you let go all thoughts of sickness, and the dead arise when you let thoughts of life replace all thoughts you ever held of death. A lesson earlier repeated once must now be stressed again, for it contains the firm foundation for today's idea. You are as God created you. There is no place where you can suffer and no time that can bring change to your eternal state. How can a world of time and place exist if you remain as God created you? What is the lesson for today except another way of saying that to know yourself is the salvation of the world? To free the world from every kind of pain is but to change your mind about yourself. There is no world apart from your ideas because ideas leave not their source, and you maintain the world within your mind in thought. Yet if you are as God created you, you cannot think apart from God, nor make what does not share God's timelessness and love. Are these inherent in the world you see? Does it create like God? Unless it does, it is not real and cannot be at all. If you are real, the world you see is false, for God's creation is unlike the world in every way. And as it was God's thought by which you were created, so it is your thoughts which made it and must set it free, that you may know the thoughts you share with God. Release the world. Your real creations wait for this release to give you fatherhood, not of illusions, but as God in truth. God shares God's fatherhood and motherhood with you who are God's child, for God makes no distinctions in what is God and what is still God. What God creates is not apart from God, and nowhere does the father, mother, end, and child begin as something separate from them. There is no world because it is a thought apart from God and made to separate God and God's child and break away a part of God and thus destroy God's wholeness. Can a world which comes from this idea be real? Can it be anywhere? Deny illusions, but accept the truth. Deny you are a shadow briefly laid upon a dying world. Release your mind and you will look upon a world released. Today our purpose is to free the world from all the idle thoughts we ever held about it and about all living things we see upon it. They cannot be there, no more can we, for we are in the home God set for us along with them, we who are as God created us would loose the world this day from every one of our illusions, that we may be free. Begin the 15-minute practice periods in which we practice twice today with this. I who remain as God created me would loose the world from all I thought it was. For I am real because the world is not, and I would know my own reality. Then merely rest, alert but with no strain, and let your mind in quietness be changed so that the world is freed along with you. You need not realize that healing comes to many brothers, sisters far across the world, as well as the ones you see nearby, as you send out these thoughts to bless the world. But you will sense your own release, although you may not fully understand as yet that you could never be released alone. Throughout the day, increase the freedom sent through your ideas to all the world, and say whenever you are tempted to deny the power of your simple change of mind, I loose the world from all I thought it was and choose my own reality instead. I loose the world from all I thought it was. When need am I for anything, I loose the world from all it seems. With you now found inside of me, here ends my fruitless wanderings. Illusions all I now release, I lay them gently at your feet. As winter she turns into spring, and branches bare are blossoming. When need am I for anything, I loose the world from all it seems. When need am I for anything, I loose the world from all it seems. With you now found inside of me, here ends my fruitless wanderings. Delusions all I now release, I lay them roses bare are blossoming as the water meets the sea. So my light will merge with thee. As the water meets the sea, so my light will merge with thee. As the water meets the sea, so my light will merge with thee. What need have I for anything? I loose the world from all it seems. What need have I for anything? I loose the world from all it seems. What need have I for anything? I loose the world from all it So this is a little piece of a song that I wrote that uses parts of and ideas from A Course in Miracles, but combined with a beautiful sacred piece of poetry that comes from the Sikh tradition. And in the Sikh tradition, we have these beautiful songs that we sing that are a roadmap back to our oneness, back to our bliss when we are completely merged with divine. So here in this song, these two traditions, two non-dual traditions that have been a part of my life met. But what's so beautiful about this song and this lesson is that this song is really describing what it feels like when we don't need anything. What need have we for anything? We don't need anything of this world. When we return to that union, to that bliss of oneness with our divinity, with God, when we return there, we need nothing of this world. We're in complete and utter bliss. And so this song is speaking to that feeling and that way to find our way back home, and to know that all else pales before this most blissful union. And in India, they have this beautiful idea and knowing that every love song that we sing to an earthly beloved is actually a love song to God. And so here again is that feeling and that essence that the most beautiful love affair that we could ever have and that we've been searching for all our lives is our love, our falling in love again with God and with our true nature. And so again in India, they have this idea that each and every one of us, no matter our gender, is married, is the beloved, is the fiancé to God. So every human is considered to be the feminine bride, to be the bride of God. So here special loves and special hates will all turn into nothingness before the magnificence and the utter bliss of our marriage and our love of God. Thank you for being with me. I look forward to being with you again tomorrow.